let's hit the Rams here. Let's hit the Rams. We have a few minutes before we can get to our guy, Ryan McCormick. Because really, the whole thing with the Rams can really be put into one whole envelope here. How do you replace a Hall of Famer? And that's Aaron Donald, who, of course, decided to step away after a career where he was the best defensive player in the league for at least half a decade. He was going to Canton on the first ballot immediately. And that's it. In the offseason this year, we'll get to those in a minute, their win total, as you see, Alex, and this was a discussion before the show, Rams at 8.5 juiced over. I still think that's good. But this team that, again, had a little bit of a different look offensive line. They re-signed Kevin Dotson. They brought Jonah Jackson back. They actually had a first-round pick this year, drafted Jared Verse on the almost a whole decade without a first-round pick for the Rams. Verse going to help their pass rush. Trey White comes over from Buffalo. They really don't lose that much other than Donald. Granted, Donald is worth like 7 people potentially on that defense. You look on the right side of that screen, kind of a even bigger version of what we just said for Arizona. We saw it 2 years ago. Matthew Stafford got hurt and the season imploded. Matthew Stafford's been there 3 years. They've won the Super Bowl year 1. They made the playoffs last year and lost a coin flip game to Detroit, where if they win that game, who knows? They might have made it here to Las Vegas instead of the Niners. You never know. But as long as Matthew Stafford stays upright and healthy, there's no reason to think this team isn't going back to the playoffs, even with a difficult division and a difficult schedule yet again, just on the virtue of playing in the NFC West.
And to your point, you were talking about their win total. I do think going over that is okay, but you're laying money there. We talked about this off air. You can get plus money at some shops for the Rams to make the playoffs. I think that is probably the best bet if you do like this team and do think that they are going to be good again, which I know Aaron Donald, we are losing him, but Kobe Turner, going into his second year, he had a very good rookie year,
yep.
9 sacks. Their biggest thing, though, is how they are going to improve their secondary because they were 13th best in rush yards per game last year, 21st in passing yards allowed per game. We know their offense is going to be just as good, if not better. They did. So Kyren Williams had an outstanding rookie year. Now they add Blake Corum, who I really like, think that will be a very good fit there. And then, of course, we saw what Puka Nacua did. 4th most receiving yards in the league as a rookie last year, and has his veteran Cooper Kupp. So offensively, we have no questions, really. It is the defense.
Yeah, again, the only offensive question is the health of Stafford. That's it. I mean, that's really the question, and you're right. And again, I just wonder with those numbers that you brought up, where they were really bad against the pass for the most part, they were better against the run. Without Donald, I wonder if those numbers flip a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if we see a much better passing defense this go around, but everything else takes a little bit of a step back because when you lose, again, Aaron Donald's going in ballot 1. First time he's eligible 5 years from now, his head's going in the can. He's getting his bust. So,
well, and it's a lot about the leadership.
Sure, that too, yeah.
What he brings in that side and getting all the players ready to go. I mean, we've seen it with a bunch of really good defensive players throughout the years.
Yeah, and guys who are not even on Aaron Donald, and the guys on, we've seen this with guys who are nowhere near as good as Aaron Donald as well.
Correct.
Again, that's just the thing more than anything. By the way, you saw it on your screen a little bit earlier, plus 105 to make the playoffs. Alex and I are in agreement on that. We think that's good. The Rams, to me, are kind of in that area with Dallas and Chicago.
Yep.
Again, if you like any other second team in the NFC South, I'd probably go with them. I think they're a click below Green Bay, who I see as the number 1 wild card in the NFC. But they're right there with everybody else in that wild card race. Real quick, the Niners, by the way, minus 225 to win this division. Rams plus 380. Seahawks 8-1, and the Arizona Cardinals 15-1. I don't like the Rams plus 380 because I think the gap is still too much between them and the Niners. It would take mass injury for the Niners to now win this division. Just too much talent, and now the fact that we know Purdy, can't argue it anymore. He's at a bare minimum a good NFL starting quarterback. That's at the minimum at this point. It's hard to justify anyone but the Niners, but we'll get the Niners later this week, Alex.
I feel like I do have to bring up backup quarterbacks because that's been my
Jimmy
thing.
Garoppolo.
We do have Jimmy Garoppolo, who is not a bad backup quarterback by any means. So if Stafford is out for a game or two, he is more than capable. But still, I mean, I agree. I don't like laying that much on the 49ers because you don't know. It's a long season and there could be injuries. And the Rams could very well just win this division and the Niners still get into the playoffs.
Sure.
But I think it's their division.
Jimmy Garoppolo, by the way, just real quick, Garoppolo is suspended the first 2 games because of violating the NFL PED rules. There's some sort of handsome joke to be made in there, but my brain's not up for it. Keith probably can make it at some point. But he is suspended the first 2 games. So if Stafford gets hurt week 1, it could very easily be a rough outing in week 2. Third string quarterback for the LA Rams right now is someone by it's actually Stetson Bennett. That's right. I was going to say Dresser Wynn's also on the roster, whoever Dresser Wynn may be. I have no idea. It's almost like a fictitious name more so than anything. Desmond Ritter's the backup in Arizona now as well, because, of course, Kyler's been injury prone. Ritter, who have made it well known, do not think is an NFL quarterback. As a backup, maybe he's all right for a game or 2, but if he's got to be a long-term starter, forget it. Arizona then would probably be heading towards 3 or 4 wins like they did a year ago. As good of a story Josh Dobbs was, I'd rather probably be the same fate as it ended up being for Dobbs when it was all said and done. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Parles.
And I'm Alex White. Thank you for watching this clip of Sports by the Book. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe.
We live stream the show right here every day on this channel. Also, you can catch the podcast version on your favorite podcast platform.
All the links are in the description below. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.